What do you feel the biggest sense of pride from and accomplishment from?
I think it's the empowering the executive directors and CEOs who are running those nonprofit and charitable organizations, and I think folks like you and I and members of the profession, I think we have a bit of an obligation to support them. If you think about in my community, Waterloo or Ontario, where I've been involved with some things, the people running our nonprofits and our large charities are just as talented as the people running for-profit entities, but they've made a decision to go and do it within a nonprofit or charitable sector, and so I think we need to be encouraging them, and I think we need to be supporting them, and allowing them to be entrepreneurial within the roles that they have. And to answer your specific question, I think if I think about all the things I've been involved with, the one I'm most proud of was a project by the region of Waterloo Food Bank. The food bank in Waterloo region provides food to about 60 agencies. But the executive director at the time, when I was involved, said there was an abundance of food manufacturers between Waterloo and Windsor along the 401 corridor. And in conversations with those food manufacturers, they had an awful lot of waste. And it was either being sold to farmers to feed pigs, or it was going to landfill. And so she embarked on put a business plan together, say, what if we could get that food and distribute it throughout southwestern Ontario? And so she pulled together a business plan, needed a little bit of seed funding, which we got from the Ontario Trillium Foundation. And she put together this project, and in the first 3 years, which was the trial, 8 million pounds of food was collected from those
Wow.
food manufacturers and distributed to food banks from Windsor to Niagara to Owen Sound. Well, that model then got replicated throughout the rest of the province and is now being replicated in other parts of the country. And so I tell that story often. Wendy's her name, Wendy Campbell. And I will say, Wendy did all this. And she will, if we're speaking on a panel together, she will say, yeah, except there was a whole bunch of hiccups. And that
Yeah.
she had a board that said, why would we treat this any different than if it was a venture capitalist investing in a tech entrepreneur? Knowing there's going to be hiccups along the way, knowing it's not going to be perfect, but
Right.
focusing on the end game. And I think that's the stuff that I am most proud of, is being able to say to these what I view as entrepreneurs who are dealing with some of society's biggest problems, and saying, go take an entrepreneurial approach. It doesn't have to be perfect. We know you're going to make mistakes and have to innovate and iterate. And so why would it be any different than in the for-profit sector?
Yeah.
So, and I hope as a profession, more of us can be doing that,
Yeah.
and encouraging folks to stay in and support these agencies and nonprofits, because they've chosen to do that instead of going into the for-profit sector.
Yeah.